Most founders think they need better people, but the truth, they need a better way of leading their existing teams. Every employee you have exists in one of three levels. Level 1 are the least productive, and level 3 help you scale your company and free up your time. Your job is to identify what level your employees are at and help them move to the top. But what most founders don't know is that each level requires a different type of leadership. Get this wrong and you'll be stuck in a sea of level 1 employees. In this video, I'll give you the exact system that helped my clients lead their employees from level 1 to level 3 without burnout or babysitting. Let's get into it. Level 1 employees, this is where we're starting. So who are they? New hires, 0 to 180 days inside of your business. Employees in crisis, any employees that have something going on in their personal life, in their relationships, in their marriage, with their kids. These are the employees that you got to lean in a little bit more. They drop back down to level 1, even if they're a little bit higher, because other things are taking their focus. And anyone that's learning the basics or anyone that's underperforming, anyone you see not doing a great job, these are the level 1 employees. Download the performance progression system below. It includes a grid so you could measure where everyone is inside of your company, specific leadership strategies for each level so that you could be at your very best. Also, it has a leadership mapping tool so that you could map out where people could be going. This is good for one-to-ones or in your next meeting. Now, some of the new hires are going to be there, but also too, any of these people that have been with you longer that you haven't been helping develop really well, these are people that are still in level 1. And what could you expect from them? A lot of how do I questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I solve this problem? So when you're onboarding someone, or if you have someone on your team onboarding them, make sure they're patient. Make sure they could live with someone asking them a lot of questions. I know a lot of founders out there, they get really annoyed with all that repetition. How do I? It's a pain and all of that. Guys, slow down. This is what the people are going to be doing in this stage. Next, and this is huge, pay attention to this, fear of making mistakes. Level 1 employees have a fear of making mistakes. They're walking around sometimes on eggshells, maybe not bringing everything up to you. They don't want to mess something up, or some of them bring too much to you. And you just have to understand this is where they are. They're just learning, and it's your job to develop them. Not everybody's going to come to your company and be a level 3. That's very rare to find, and that's also big in your investment in your pocket that you have to find those people. So level 1 employees are really common. Next, their reliance on decisions, right? They have a fear of making decisions. They don't want to screw things up. They want to run things by you. This is the things that you could expect from level 1 employees. And what do they need? They need structure, repetition, and psychological safety. They need routine because they're already in chaos. You have to supply the order for them to feel safe enough to grow inside of your company. Next, they need a strong, calm authority. Not someone that gets annoyed that they're asking them the questions, not someone that answers in a real short, sarcastic way. And I've seen this a bunch of times. They need someone that's really calm and is able to help them get what they need and grow inside their company. And last, you need to lead with clarity. You have to make sure that it's very clear what you're providing them. They have enough information for them. And so already you're probably figuring out, man, I haven't been showing up with that structure and repetition and psychological safety. And am I leading with clarity? Ask yourself that, because that's what level 1 employees really need from you and your other managers. This is where we introduce the first level of leadership, the governor, the anchor of authority. You're calming them, you're showing them exactly what they need to do, you're open to all their questions, you're open to all their curiosity, and you're calming all their fears about underperforming or not being able to do the job well. Here's the do's and don'ts and how to level them up to level 2 employees. First, clear SOPs, non-negotiables. Like we said, we need to make things very clear for them, and so they know what they need to do, how they need to do it, and what's really important for you in the company. Next, predictable routines. That's communication, execution, check-ins. They need to know when things are going to happen, how things need to happen. They can't be wondering about that. They're already in chaos. Our job is to give them order so they understand how things are and so they could feel safe enough to grow. And last, lead by example. You need to be this calm, consistent authority, or whoever is managing them needs to be this calm, consistent authority so that they could level up. Do not over-explain or justify every rule. You're just creating what this world is inside of your company looks like for them. Unless they're asking you a question, this is just how it is. Also too, don't ask for too much feedback too early. Their brains are already spinning. We're just giving them the groundwork right now. Later on in level 2 and 3, they'll be able to come back with more feedback and more ideas. But right now, they have to understand exactly what's going on inside of the company and exactly what they need to be doing in their role, how everyone communicates, what can they expect from everybody. This is this stage. And how to level them up, you start giving them ownership of something, decisions, small at a time, things that are like layups for them that they could really own and do really well. Don't plop a bunch of things on them, small little breadcrumbs, so that they could build confidence and you could see that they are ready to go. Next, I love doing this. Have them shadow a level 2 employee, someone that's really great in the company so they can learn how they operate, learn their energy, learn things like that. And last, watch for consistency, confidence, and initiative. That's what you really want to see. When they're ready to take initiative, when they're coming out there having a knowing sense about what they're doing, that's when you know they're ready for level 2. You might be looking at all this and thinking, Angelo, how long does it take for a level 1 employee to move up to a level 2? Well, the answer is it depends. It could be anywhere between 1 to 6 months, depending on how they are, how you're developing them, what the environment is like. Once they've owned the basics and start owning parts of their job, they're ready to move up to level 2. And if you want help implementing this system inside of your business, book a 30-minute strategy session with me and let's talk how we can build this leadership inside of your company. Level 2 employees, these are my favorite. These are the guys that are coming up, running and gunning in your company. They're anywhere between 6 to 18 months in your company. They're promoted team leaders or emerging leaders, anybody that's really stepping up, and they're people that you know that you're starting to get that feel in your gut that they're really reliable. What you can expect from them, to see them start taking initiative on things, not going to you for everything, getting things done, making small decisions and owning the outcomes. That's what this stage really is about responsibility. And they still need feedback and some course correction from them. They're not ready to run and gun without any oversight, but they're starting to move a little forward towards it. These are the fun ones, like I said. It's like the teenage years of developing kids, right? They're starting to know how to do things. What they need from you is a balance between freedom and feedback. So you got to give them room, and then you go over what they did. You don't tell them before that, right? You got to give them the freedom to see what's happening. Then you come back and you ask them, how was that for you? What would you do better next time? What did you think you did best here? You don't tell them. And last, a leader who cultivates and not controls. So if you're one of those control freaks, I don't mind if you're like that with level 1 employees, even though I don't love it for everybody because it's not a calm energy. This energy here, that controlling on top of you, telling them things right away and not letting them learn for their own experience, it's going to bring them back down to level 1 because you're babysitting them. You have to let them grow, cultivate them. This brings us to the second level of leadership, the gardener, the cultivator of responsibility. Level 2 do's, don'ts, and how to level up. So what do we need to do? Ownership of KPIs, key performance indicators, some sort of number, data, or measurement, ownership of a process, or ownership of a ship. Start giving them things that they really need to own, be accountable for in the company. Debrief wins and mistakes weekly. Have a one-to-one every week where you go over things. You're not on top of them every day here. This is when you're taking off the training wheels and you're letting them go out and ride the bike. Sometimes they're going to come back and feel great. Sometimes they're going to come back with bruised knees. Either way, they need this so that they could learn. Coach through reflection, guide, don't dictate. Really think about that. What did you think about this? Tell me more about this. Get them to reflect on their actions about things that happen. This is about training their brain in this stage and let consequences happen. Like I said, sometimes they're going to come back from that bike ride with bruised knees, and that's okay. We have to let things happen so that they could learn. And if you're a founder that wants to put on the cape and jump in on everything and save everything all the time, this is your stage to level up too as a leader so that you could let people grow. Because the only reason you didn't have that happen is because you were building this business by yourself. But now you went through all those bumps and bruises. That's how you learned. That's the same way your team needs to learn. Don't rescue them too fast or micromanage. Like I gave that bike analogy. Let it happen. They're going to be okay. And how to level them up? Encourage long-term thinking. Ask questions. Where do you think we're going to be in 6 months? Where is your department going to be in 6 months? What would you do about this in a year from now? Thinking about things in more of a long-term way. You're training their brain to be strategic in this stage, because the better they could think, the more you could trust them. Lead meetings or projects. This is where you let them lead the weekly team meeting. You assign them a project, something that they could handle that's in their pay grade, right? This is when you start seeing at their ability to talk in front of people, lead other team members and things like that, and let them fail safely. This is so hard for founders, right? We think everything is super important. Everything is urgent. Guys, there is only a certain number of things in your business that really, really matter. The rest of it is experimentation, testing grounds, and a place to learn. Let these people fail. It will help them grow. It'll help them learn. You debrief it in the one-on-one, and you keep helping them get better. If you're always on top of them, always babysitting, you're never going to have people that you could really rely on have your back. When they start mentoring others and start thinking in terms of system and vision, they're ready for level 3. Timeline on this is somewhere between 6 to 18 months. And as you can see, this is where you're really going to be stretched as a leader, because you're learning what level 1 people need, level 2 people need, and level 3 people need. So you're developing more skills for yourself as a leader. Level 3 employees, who are they? Senior team or department heads, people that are really making things happen for you, people that you could count on. Long time and trusted employees. These are people you know that understand your vision, understand your culture that you're trying to create, and more importantly, understand how you work as well. They're strategic thinkers who coach others. This is really important. Are they helping other people in your organization get better? That's a level 3 employee. Those are the people that are helping leaders become leaders, right? That's what really matters. They're multiplying the impact, multiplying the ability to grow inside of your company. What can you expect from them? Independent decisions, right? They're on their own. They know how to make things happen. They think company-wide. They're done just thinking about their work. They're done just thinking about their department. They're knowing the impact of everything they do, how it affects everybody in the company. And they want freedom and vision, not oversight. You have to supply them with the vision and trust that they know what to do to go make it happen. What they need from you is vision and trust. Hopefully they've earned it by now at level 3 employees to earn your trust. And you damn right better have a great, clear vision for them to buy into and be excited about. And what they need from you is they need a mentor now. They need someone that's going to help them grow all areas of their life. This is my favorite level of leadership, because this is where you get to develop people and you're not focused on the work because you know they have that. This is just you helping them grow, make a bigger impact, and grow inside your company. This is the third and final level of leadership, the guide. You're the compass. No longer are you the map maker. They make the maps. You're just the compass for them. Level 3 employees, you're the mentor for them now. Here's the do's, don'ts, and how to level them up even further. Ask powerful questions, right? You're not there to give them answers. You're there for them to come up with the answers. You need to articulate great questions and make them think. Create space for them to be challenged, for them to learn even further, to lead more. You're giving them a lot of slack here. That's really important for level 3 employees. They're going to really want that from you as well. Share the why and let them define the how. Do not tell them how to do things. Share why, where you're going. Let them figure out the rest. Don't step in to fix things. That's really important. I know we have that itch. We might be working with some level 1 employees and want to feel like we should do that with level 3 that day. No, remember what level they're at. Second guess or undermine. They've earned your trust. If you develop them level 1, level 2, level 3, they've earned your trust. So you need to let them go and trust that they're going to figure this out. You need to give them a lot of leeway. How to level them up even further. This is ongoing, right? There's no other level, but this is how they can get even better at level 3. High level strategy. Have them in your big meetings. Start getting them to answer questions. Plan things out in the quarterlies. Plan things out in the annuals. Have them be a partner with you in growing your business. Assign them a mentee. As I mentioned, this stage is all about them developing other leaders. Assign them someone on their team that they could be growing, because they need to learn how to do this if they're going to stay at a level 3. Then also invite them into decision making. When you have something going on, say, hey, you got 20 minutes, sit down with them and talk with them. Let them in on this decision making. Let their brain even grow even further with them. And this is how they keep going and keep growing inside of your company, and more importantly, growing other leaders. In this video, we covered how level 1 employees need you to be a governor, how level 2 employees need you to be a gardener, and how level 3 employees need you to be a guide. Remember, you don't need a new team. You need to lead the one you already have more effectively. And if you want to learn how to organize your level 3 team so you could scale without burnout, watch this video next.